There are moments in life when everything you knew begins to dissolve. When the people, places, and stories that once shaped you slowly fade, and you are left with only yourself. At first, it feels frightening, like walking alone in a fog where nothing is certain. But in truth, these moments are sacred. They are the quiet spaces where your soul whispers the truth. It's time to release what no longer serves you. It's time to let the old versions of yourself fall away so the new can rise. You are being prepared, even in the silence, for the beauty of who you are meant to become. Breathe, be present, trust this unfolding journey, and know you are never truly lost. You are simply becoming. There are versions of you that will never return. They existed only to get you here, to this moment. You may not realize it yet, but every chapter of your life required a small kind of death. Not a physical one, but a spiritual shedding. The slow unlearning of everything that kept you from seeing who you truly are. We like to talk about becoming, but rarely about the loss that becoming demands. Because to truly grow, you must release the identities built from survival. You must mourn the parts of you that only knew how to fight, how to hide, how to please, how to shrink. Growth isn't glamorous. It's grief disguised as awakening. And in this space between who you were and who you are becoming, there is beauty. Raw, painful, breathtaking beauty. Part 1. The first deaths. When you start to awaken, life begins to take things away. People drift. Dreams collapse. Old paths stop making sense. And you feel like you're losing control. But what if that loss is grace? What if the universe, in its quiet mercy, removes everything that no longer aligns with the person you're meant to be? The first versions of you, the ones who survived chaos, who carried the weight, who smiled through pain, they were necessary. They got you through nights that no one knows about. They were strong, loyal, protective. But there comes a time when survival isn't enough. When strength becomes armor that blocks intimacy. When silence becomes a prison. When control becomes exhaustion. And that's when the dying begins, not outside, but within. You begin to feel disconnected from your old life. Things that once excited you now drain you. People who once understood you suddenly don't. You look in the mirror and feel a strange emptiness, as if the person staring back is both you and not you. That's the first death, the death of identity. And though it hurts, it's sacred. Part 2. The resistance to let go. You'll try to fight it. You'll cling to the old patterns because they're familiar. You'll tell yourself, maybe I can still be that version of me, just a little longer. But the truth is, once the soul awakens, it can't go back to sleep. You can't unknow what you now understand. You can't unfeel what your spirit has already touched. So you resist, and the resistance becomes suffering. Because deep down, you already know you're meant to evolve. You'll remember the version of you who never said no, the one who sacrificed herself to be loved. You'll remember the dreamer who chased approval like oxygen. You'll remember the caretaker who thought that being needed was the same as being valued. Each of them will visit you one last time, asking to stay. And you'll have to look them in the eyes and whisper, "Thank you for protecting me, but I don't need you anymore." That's how transformation begins, with a goodbye whispered in love, not oath. Part 3. The cocoon phase. After the letting go comes the in-between, the void, the cocoon. This is the most uncomfortable phase. You'll feel lost, confused, invisible, like the ground beneath you has vanished. That's because you're no longer who you were, but you haven't yet met who you're becoming. The ego panics in this space. It wants identity, certainty, control. But the soul knows that emptiness is creation's favorite canvas. In the cocoon, everything dissolves. Beliefs, attachments, timelines. You start questioning everything. Who am I without their approval? What do I truly want when no one's watching? What if my worth isn't something to earn, but something I already am? This space feels lonely, but it's not punishment. It's purification. The silence is not absence, it's preparation. You are being rewritten from the inside out. And when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when everything is happening. Part 4. The versions that kept you safe. To move forward, you must understand the logic of your old selves. Every version of you was born for a reason. The child who stayed quiet learned that silence prevented conflict. The teenager who became invisible learned that invisibility meant safety. The adult who overworked learned that productivity made her worthy. Those versions are not failures, they are adaptive miracles. They kept you alive when life felt impossible. They deserve gratitude, not shame. But safety and peace are not the same thing. Safety is survival. Peace is freedom. When you begin to heal, you realize you don't have to keep fighting battles that are already over. You can put down the armor. You can rest. You can breathe. You start noticing that peace feels strange, that calmness feels foreign, that your nervous system misses chaos because it's what it knew best. And that's okay. Healing isn't about forcing peace. It's about learning to receive it without guilt. Part 5. The collapsing of the old world. There comes a moment when everything collapses. Your old friendships no longer fit. Your career loses meaning. Your routines crumble. You'll think you're failing, but you're actually being freed. Because everything that collapses is something that couldn't survive the truth of who you're becoming. It's disorienting. You'll grieve people who are still alive. You'll miss versions of yourself you never thought you'd lose. But within that grief is rebirth. The emptiness that follows endings isn't a void. It's fertile soil. The seed of your next chapter is already planted there. And the pain you feel? That's just the ground breaking open to let the light in. Part 6. The beauty of starting over. Starting over isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It means you've finally outgrown what kept you small. It means you've chosen truth over comfort. It means you've decided that peace is worth the unknown. The beauty of starting over is that you no longer chase what you once begged for. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop begging for doors that were never yours. You begin to walk differently, softer, slower, more aware. You speak to yourself with kindness instead of cruelty. You understand that healing doesn't erase your past. It redeems it. You no longer ask, "Why did that happen to me?" You start asking, "What did that teach me?" Because every loss, every heartbreak, every dark night, they weren't punishments. They were awakenings. They were lessons in disguise, showing you how powerful you truly are. Part 7. Meeting your new self. As you start living again, you'll meet the new you, quietly, gently. She appears in moments of stillness, when you finally say no without guilt, when you rest without apologizing, when you look at your reflection and feel peace instead of pressure. You'll realize that you no longer crave chaos, validation, or control. You crave peace, truth, and authenticity. This new you isn't louder, she's lighter. She doesn't need to prove herself anymore. She simply exists, fully, unapologetically. She understands that healing isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to the person she was before the world told her who to be. And that's the ultimate freedom, remembering yourself. Part 8. Gratitude for the old you. Before you move on, turn back and thank every version of you that walked this path. Thank the one who kept smiling while breaking. Thank the one who loved people who didn't know how to love back. Thank the one who stayed up nights overthinking. Thank the one who kept hope alive when everything felt lost. She deserved more, but she gave everything. And now, because of her, you get to start again. The old you wasn't a failure. She was the foundation. She built the strength that allows you to stand here today, reborn, wiser, softer. Part 9. Integration. Living the new story. Starting over doesn't mean erasing your past. It means integrating it, weaving the lessons into your new identity. The scars remain, but they no longer define you. They become maps, reminders of how far you've traveled. You begin to make new choices from self-respect instead of fear. You choose silence over argument, healing over repeating, presence over pretending. The world doesn't change, you do. And suddenly, what once drained you can't reach you anymore. Because you've outgrown that vibration. You've become too grounded in your truth to return to your chaos. Part 10. The Essence of Rebirth. Rebirth isn't a single event. It's a rhythm. You'll die and be reborn many times in one lifetime. Each time softer, clearer, more aligned. The first time it feels like losing everything. But after that, you start to recognize the pattern. You start trusting that destruction is only the beginning of creation. You stop fearing endings. You start welcoming them. Because now you understand, endings aren't the opposite of life, they are part of it. And when you finally see life that way, you stop clinging. You start flowing. You start living in harmony with change instead of fighting it. That's when peace becomes your natural state. The phoenix moment. So here you are, standing in the ashes of who you once were. Look around you. Everything that burned was never meant to stay. What remains is you, real, raw, luminous. You have been broken open to become whole. You have been emptied so you could be filled with truth. You have lost versions of yourself, not because you were unworthy, but because your soul outgrew their limits. And this is the beauty of starting over. It's not about forgetting your past. It's about honoring it, then moving forward unburdened. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the self that was hidden beneath all the noise. You are not the person you were yesterday, and that's the point, because life is a cycle of continuous becoming. And every time you rise, you bring with you the wisdom of every version that came before. They had to die so you could live. They had to fade so you could shine. So breathe, smile, step into your new beginning with grace. You are not starting from nothing. You are starting from experience, from strength, from light. This is your rebirth. This is your beauty. This is you becoming again.